Good morning. This video is for my sisters, all you women out there who are wondering how to deal with a man's situation. I have a lot of compassion for men, as you know, and I work with men. My livelihood depends on men enjoying my company, okay? And I like men. However, there's context involved, and that's what I want to make this video about. As I have had 2 sessions with my therapist, and I'm allowing myself to come more in touch with what feels right for me and congruent, I feel receptive to men when they start by giving. And that's what I said 9 years ago after my divorce, that a man must approach a woman by giving. Now, that's how I feel in my body. And there are many biological reasons. A man is physically stronger and can hurt us. A man can unintentionally hurt us during sex by touching us in a way he has no idea what feels good, or by not getting us warmed up enough and less likelihood to have an orgasm. And we are more nourishing emotional. We are more relational in general. So that's really how I feel. And I married a guy like that who started by giving, and he was a really good guy, just a little bit walled off. When I didn't want to tell my dad when I divorced my husband because I knew he would be upset. So I waited until I had already moved out, and I told him. And my dad was upset with me. He said, "You know what, Shahrzad? You will never find anyone better than him." And at the time I thought, surely I will. But the truth of it is I haven't. It's been almost 10 years I haven't. There's a lot of riffraff out there, you guys. And the good guys are married. And the other thing I thought was, and that's still true for me today, if there's no one better out there, I don't want anyone at all. And that's still true for me today. The reason that there's so much riffraff out there is because the good men get married by their late 20s, early 30s, and they stay married. Their wives don't leave them. I'm sure there are exceptions. This is not true in all cases. Sometimes men marry some kind of psycho woman, but then why did the man pick that woman? See what I'm saying? They have issues. So the solidly attached good guys are generally married. And I know some of these men. I work with some of these men. And just from talking with other single women, I know this is like a trend. Even for younger women, having difficulty meeting a good guy. So ladies, if you want to get married, try to do it in your 20s, because the good guys are going to be gone after 30. They're going to be married already. And if they're not married, there's a reason for it. They don't like relationships, or they're emotionally avoidant. Anyway, so that's the part of me that's tuned into what I want. Now let's talk about the part of me that's empathetic to men, empathetic to their declining incomes and economic fortunes, which has also the rise of single mothers, that they didn't have a father in the home. Men are much more likely to have higher rates of depression and just a lot of bad health outcomes. And my heart goes out to them because I have sons and I have a brother and I work with men and I just like men. Some of it because my mother hated them, and so I thought I would never do that. Seeing my little brother not being treated well by my parents. So that part of me has a lot of compassion for men, and out of that compassion, I have done things that weren't really congruent with how I feel, like talked about men in a way out of pity or obligation or duty. But see, sexual attraction or sexual access isn't a pity game. What I'm trying to say is, I think men should pay for us. I'm going to reverse some of my stuff. I think they should pay for us. I think they should show up. They have to make us feel safe and trusting. Yesterday, I was again listening to Emily Nagoski, author of, what did she do? She's like a sex author, sex researcher. Emily Nagoski, I think she's a PhD. Anyway, she was talking about the things that people need to feel safe sexually. And first of all, we need to feel safe. And a lot of men, especially these guys that are complaining about, you know, women are so hypergamous and it's not fair, and if they just lowered their standards, we could get women too. Well, I don't feel safe. No, I don't feel safe at all. I just feel turned off. That doesn't make me feel safe. So I'm not receptive. And these guys who hate women or feel entitled to get our bodies, that doesn't make me feel safe at all. So she explained what women need. I think she's talking about women in relationships, but I need that also. I need to feel safe. I need to trust you. I need to feel like you're going to be emotionally there for me, at least during, even if we're just having a sexual encounter or appointment. I need to feel like you're there for me emotionally and attentive to me. And I forgot the last thing she said. Like some kind of emotional closeness or something. And for guys, don't need all that necessarily. They just need to feel safe and to see a beautiful woman. Their arousal mechanism works completely differently, and I don't think there's enough talk about that. And women don't owe men sex out of pity. I think that we as women have become too easy. There are cases of women who met men online, invited them over, and ended up in bad situations, like the woman who met the men on Plenty of Fish. He got mad because she wouldn't put out, so he drove their car into the lake. Fortunately, they both escaped. Or the woman who met the man on Bumble and invited him over, and she ended up, you know, she's no longer with us. So there are just so many things, but here's what I want to say. I was listening to Dr. Marty Klein yesterday. Is like, nobody owes you sex, and not everybody deserves to have sex. You need to be a man that women want to be with, and that's how you get us. We are supposed to be choosy, and I am choosy. And one more thing I want to say. Those flowers, those didn't come from guys who, you know, there are these guys that want to get with me. Oh, they want to take me out to dinner without paying me, or they want my Snapchat. And these are guys coming off my YouTube channel, not off my Just for Fans. These guys just want to take. They want to give me nothing. They're takers. And it doesn't feel good to me as a woman. Those flowers came from my clients. The bottle of wine I already drank. Outings I go on. Money. And they're nice to me, and they appreciate me, and I trust them, and I feel receptive, and I enjoy them. So I know what it's like when men start by giving. I experience that frequently. It's very nice. It's very comforting. I feel safe. I feel appreciated. I trust them. When they appreciate a woman, it's not just that they're giving me something of value. They're giving me their time, their attention, their safety. It feels good. It feels safe. And then I can open. Versus these guys that want to get with me, they just want to take. And ladies, just start noticing how you feel in your body if a guy starts by giving or a guy starts by wanting and by taking. Like, you owe me, or I want this, and can you give me this? It's not receptive to me as a woman at all. I mean, even in general, if I were to reach out to someone on their social media because I wanted to pick their brain for an idea, they always teach you, even, you know, start by giving. Give something of value on your website so people come back. Like, you always want to start any relationship by giving. But in general, in a male-female interaction, the man has to start by giving. He has to give money, or he has to give a relationship, and he has to give attention and care and empathy. I'm sure there are women that are attracted to men who treat them like shit, but let's not talk about the outliers. Let's just talk about healthy women who want to be receptive to men. So when these guys over here are all angry or they want things, that doesn't work. And these men that want to take me out, like the one from a few weeks ago and this other one, the server from a couple of years ago, they were just taking. They wanted to text me. They wanted phone calls. I didn't get flowers from any of them. I got stood up on my birthday. But who remembered me were my paying clients. And that's the thing, ladies. If a man pays for you, that's how we got to weed out the takers from the givers. Now, I reversed course on whether men should pay. I think that we have to see how giving they are, and then that determines how receptive we are. Remember, ladies, they need us more than we need them when it comes to sex. They have that urge to release what's in their balls. They have that urge. Sure, we want to connect, but they have that urge and they're not as picky. In fact, I am very intentional with my sexual energy. But you think those guys that want my free time appreciate that? They don't fucking appreciate it because they're just taking. They don't appreciate any of that. They don't appreciate my degrees or my independence or what I've done with my parenting. They just want to slide it in there and get a free photo. Okay? It's the men who pay for us that show that they appreciate us. And if they can't pay for us, I'm not gonna stay on the side right now to have pity for you. That's gonna have to be somebody else right now because I'm working on my own stuff. If they can't pay for me, I'm not interested. It doesn't mean that I'm a hypergamous bitch. It just means that I don't feel like you're giving me anything. Now you're just taking, and I'm not in a man's body. I'm in a woman's body, and to feel receptive, I need to relax and feel like you can take care of me. That's how it is. And to be an embodied woman. To be an embodied woman. I am receptive to men who want to be nice to me by giving, not by taking. So my invitation for everybody here today is start noticing, ladies, if a man is giving or taking. Just start noticing how you feel in your body around a man. Do you feel open and receptive, or do you feel guarded and closed off or defensive? And men, start noticing, please, how you treat ladies. Start noticing how women respond to you when you're taking versus when you're giving. Okay, if you give a compliment because you just want to, versus you give a compliment to get something out of her. The same action can be different things. And how do you feel about providing for a woman or paying for a woman? Does that make you angry? Then you're not, you're not in a giving space. Women will feel more attracted to the guy who's generous in spirit. Men who are generous in spirit open my heart and make me receptive. And it shows up in that they care how I feel, they're attentive, and those men demand to be treated with respect, kindness, love, and appreciation. These men don't get walked on because they're giving, the people pleasers, they're not really giving, they're manipulating. They do something to get something back. That's not giving. That's taking, manipulative taking. A real giver gives out of his kindness, and these men are not people pleasers. You can't jerk these men around. They would not put up with it. They expect to be appreciated and honored in return. So that's my insight that I've been developing, and I'm working on a new book right now, which is going to be under a pen name. And the first chapter is called You're Always Such a Good Time. So that's all I have for now, and thank you for watching my video.